Okay, welcome to this episode of People in Iceland. Nice to have you here, Stebbi.
Thank you, Berki.
How are you doing tonight?
I'm good.
You're
All
good?
good.
Always good.
Always good.
Okay, I just wanted to have a little chat, get to know you a little bit, and maybe just start at the start. Where are you born in Iceland? Where did you grow up?
I was born and raised in Reykjavik,
Yeah,
the capital.
the capital.
And I lived in a small town outside of Reykjavik when I was young, until I was 7, in Mosfellsveit.
Yeah, okay. I grew up there too.
You grew up there too.
Yeah.
And it was I remember it was, very bad road between Reykjavik and Mosfellsbær. Today we drive it in about 7-8 minutes, but then it was about 40 minutes.
Yeah. On a dirt road.
On a dirt road, terrible road. And I grew up there and took 2 years of school, 6 and 7. Then I moved to Reykjavik.
Okay.
And but all my relatives are from Snæbjörnsson.
Okay.
Yeah, from most of them they say it's the best side of the country.
All Icelanders do that.
Yes, but they say it because there's favorite story about the Jules Verne story about the what is it?
The glacier.
Yeah, the trip, but they went to the central of the earth.
Ah.
And that is
That's the entrance.
Yes, that's the Snæbjörnsson.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I knew it was in Iceland somewhere. I didn't know it was Snæbjörnsson.
Yeah, it is Snæbjörnsson.
So you've been down there?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
And up again. And Icelandic people are very spiritual, as you know. We the elves and and the trolls and we have some people, of course, they believe that the aliens are coming and visit us. And of the year 2000, there was a festival over there because everybody was waiting for the the aliens were arriving. They light up a candle, so they could see. But they haven't. I have not seen them yet. But
not yet.
Not yet.
Appears soon.
But they are somewhere.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Maybe Elon Musk is one.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
He's probably one of those guys.
I think. I think. Yeah. So yeah, this is almost my background story. I'm a farmer. This like most of the.
So did you go on summer times to work on a farm down there, or?
I work on a farm over there, and I go to the sea.
Yeah.
And fish a little bit.
Yeah.
It's very powerful landscape over there.
It is, and it's. I think people are missing out nowadays. That used to be the case. Like when I was growing up, all summers I went to Vik í Mýrdal to work on a farm, and you somehow experience nature in a different way. When you're by yourself in a powerful nature place, there's something in that.
Yeah, it's Vik and Snæbjörnsson, it's very similar. You got this amazing landscape, we got this lava, we got the volcanoes all around us, and we got this windy, and the weathercast, don't count on it.
Yeah.
They say it's going to be sun, but it's snowing. Yeah.
I remember one time especially I went down there, and that was the night that the big cargo ship stranded in
Oh,
Reynisfjall.
yeah.
And I have never in my life seen the sea like that before.
Mm.
The waves were 10, 15 meters high, and you truly could feel the force of nature somehow.
It's, yeah.
And just trying to do like a rescue mission in that circumstances, you really know how
It's crazy.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when we had the U.S. Army over here. You know, they did amazing job, especially in the rescue with the helicopters. And
did they manage that before we got Landhelgisgæslan or the Icelandic
yeah,
thing?
you know, they had the helicopters.
Okay.
They had those special rescue units, and they did a lot of trips, and they were in line on fire, you know, just to rescue some seamen, of course.
Yeah.
And they did amazing jobs.
Yeah. I didn't know they managed that. It's a little before. I remember the army here, but I think around 12 or 13, that's when they kind of closed shop here a little bit.
Yeah, it is. How old are you?
I'm 41.
Well, they left about what, 2006?
2006. Wasn't the people
Where have you been, man?
I've been away.
Yeah. You've been away. Yeah.
I kind of stepped into the haze around 13.
Yeah. I know. Yeah, it's so yeah, they packed up here.
Yeah.
Because they needed to spare some money.
Yeah.
Very expensive to have an army in Iceland.
Yeah.
100 guys.
It's
you
a tad far.
Yeah. So they were here and they went to Alaska.
Okay.
Step up.
Did the guys that were based here go to Alaska? Really?
Yeah. Many of them.
Yeah.
You know, I met one guy in an airplane on the way to New York, and he just stopped by, and you know, because he was catching another flight to New York, and we were just sitting seat by seat and side by side, and he said, "I haven't been here for 30 years." Well, all right, and Actually, I was here in 20 years.
Okay.
And he lived in Keflavik for 20 years.
In the base.
In the base.
Yeah. Have you been there?
Yeah.
It looks like a slum, kind of.
Today?
Yeah. And I'm not talking about the people or just the housing and how it all looks.
Yeah, you know.
It kind of doesn't fit in Iceland. I'm not talking about like people that live there, don't get me wrong. I'm just talking about how the houses look and how everything kind of is institutionalized. Something looks that way somehow.
You know, I remember, you know, when, you know, my father, he was always taking me around when I was a kid. And we went, you know, multiple times to Keflavik. Because when we crossed some line on the way, you could listen to the radio station. It's called the Kanin.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was the only radio station which played, you know, foreign music, special country or blues and etc. You know, and you know, he had a lot of fun, but me not. You know, son, this is Willie Nelson, man. You know, on the road again. And I, you know, yeah. Well, and in Keflavik, you know, we got those old groups. You know, the bands. You know, they came with a hit. You know, and 10 years later, everybody knew that they were just covering some songs because nobody heard it. Yeah, so yeah, talking about this base and talking about this US, we yeah, they gave us a lot of things. You know, they
Yeah.
gave us the TV. They gave us some new sociality, new roads.
Mm-hmm.
And for example, they were locked down in there. The
They couldn't leave the
Marines.
base. Yeah.
Yeah, they couldn't leave the base. Just maybe day pass or so.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, they did a lot of good stuff for us. And when they left, they just went like this, and all the houses were just shut down.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was in October, I think, when the last key was thrown in some bucket,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody was sitting and, okay, what's next? And 2 years later, so, okay, let's use it.
Yeah.
And all the pipes and everything, you know, the water pipes, and it was frozen, and you know, the building was just, you know, it was broken. Everything was broken, and it took a lot of years to rebuild it up again.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And of course, fix the electricity because they had the American system over
right.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Then you moved to Reykjavik, and how old did you say?
I was 7,
7.
and I was in Reykjavik.
And how was the change moving from the countryside and into the city? Do you remember the feeling?
When I woke up, there was no horse in my garden. You know, it was only, you know, a lot of cars.
Uh-huh.
You know, and less freedom. You
Yeah.
know, it was not as much open space. You
Mm-hmm.
know, and you were, but this. Yeah, that was basically the most changed.
Yeah.
You know, I could walk to the school instead of taking a bus.
Yeah,
And the swimming pool was just 5 minutes away from me, and instead of 30 minutes, you know, so it was.
Right.
But there was no river running through my garden either, so
No.
yeah, that was basically the change.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, in this age, especially, you know, we the boys.
Yeah.
It's very easy for us to manage to get along.
Yeah. It's easy.
It's very easy for us.
Yeah.
But you know, it's all the way around regarding the girls. You know, if you're not in gymnastic, you are not in the clan. You know.
Yeah.
So it's
And I noticed your shirt you have on there.
yeah.
What's the acronyms for?
The shear.
Yeah.
Svers.
SVRS.
Yes. It's Svers. You know, it stands for Sober Rider Forever Sober Rider.
Okay.
It's, Sober Rider is this is a motorcycle club
Yeah.
from Arizona,
Okay.
California, and yeah, I'm part of that,
Yeah.
and I'm very proud to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are sober.
You're sober. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's very easy for Icelandic people to get along over there because most of us are sober too. We have nothing to do over here.
So it's a worldwide fellowship.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
to say.
it's worldwide fellowship. Yeah, our main thing is just there's a life after
Yeah.
the other life.
Yeah.
That we thought that was the best.
Yeah. We all thought that.
We all thought that. But yeah, there's a life. There's a life.
But you do a lot of things. I've noticed that. You used to be a painter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I've done a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that.
When I was 11, I started to work on the sea.
Okay.
with my uncle, you know, on a small boat, small fishing boat. And we had this, you know, with the hands.
Yeah, yeah.
Today, of course, it's automatic,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
digital, you know, which says beep, 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 we got fish. But in the back in the old days, we had to do it back and forward, you know. And
yeah.
so it was heavy, man. Wow,
Okay.
shit. And so, yeah.
That must have been pretty young though, back then, 11, going working
11,
on sea.
12, oh, yeah. That's, but, you know, back in those days, that was just, you know, that was normal.
Mm-hmm.
You know, work.
Yeah, yeah. In
the summertime, you work.
Yeah.
You know, we didn't even have, you know, Sinclair Spectrum 48K or what was it, you know. We had this Donkey Kong, you know.
Yeah, yeah, the small one.
Yeah, the small one. You know, and
the small Nintendos.
Yeah, small Nintendos. So we were just, you know, selling magazines and, you know, always doing something to make some money in the pocket.
Yeah, yeah. You did that. You did the fishing thing. Was that like the summer? Always the summers? Or?
Oh no, it's just week and week.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It was almost a slavery, but not. You know. But when I was 12 and 13, I went to, and I was for a month and 2 months in the country. You know, working on a farm. You know, and you know. Woke up 5:30 in the morning, and you went to sleep 10 in the evening. Okay, would you send your child to that today? I don't think so. It's different today. Today you sue your parents. You know. Yeah. That was my thing too, and and that gave me something. Yeah. For life. Yeah, you know. I learned how to work. Yeah. And somehow you learn. It can be fun while you're working. Yeah, and taking responsibility of yourself. Yep. That came later. That came later, you know. Well, I've grown old very fast, of course, you know. Started hanging around with older guys and doing shit. But I always had this, you know, this ability to work. That has never been a problem. If I need money, I can work. Yeah. Work, make you rich, nothing else. You realize that you don't get rich off a lottery ticket. You just get rich if you work. And yeah. I work, but I'm not rich. That's maybe because I'm honest too. Yeah. Well, you know, you learn in the country how to survive, you know, how to just manage. You know, away from your parents, away from your friends, and you recognize that, and you realize that life is not. You don't take anything for granted. Like today, you know, in this COVID shit, you know, people are dying at the same time as people crazy because there's no festival. You know? Yeah, and they can't go to the club and have a drink. So it's a funny situation. Yeah. It's so yeah, and when I was 16, I finished school and I went again to the sea. Bigger boat though. And as you was talking about, you know, how the sea is. This is the worst thing I ever had done in my life. I was going to the sea. Okay. Okay, you know, we were 10 days out fishing 24/7. You had day
On
shift.
6 hours.
Yeah, 6, yeah, right. And my first 10 days, I was sick. Every minute, every second. All day long, for 10 days. I had this bucket around my neck with orange juice because there was a bit of sugar, so I wouldn't, lay flat. And I just took a sip and then a puke, and the guys on the, on the deck, they were starting to pat, okay, he's going to jump in the sea, he's going to quit, but I stayed there for 7-8 months.
Okay.
So,
did it get better the second time around?
The waves, man, it was fucking 18 meters, you saw the country and then you didn't, and it was just whoosh, and it was terrible,
Okay.
But I think it's the smell of the oil that just I couldn't make it.
Also, just spending that amount of time away from everything.
Yeah.
I went once for 10 or 11 days or something, and I just that's not it.
That's not it. No.
Just spending all the time away from everything.
Yeah.
Because I just saw my life, if I would go that path, I'm going to spend more than half of my life away from everybody.
Yeah, that's true.
And that just wasn't appealing to me somehow. I was not sick though. I was lucky with it. I've never been seasick.
But my family, from Snæbjörnsson, all sailors, firemen, one of those fingers as long as my leg, very big, and I couldn't say I'm going to quit at the sea.
No, not an option.
No option. So I was waiting for the opportunity to have some contract to a painter.
Okay.
And that, it took me 6 months. And I got the call.
Okay.
And and I finished that. He was basically drunk all the time. Yeah. And that was very good for me.
Yeah, like painters usually are.
Yeah. Yes. Sniffing and drinking.
Yeah.
So I had a good relationship with this painter. So I learned a good lesson there.
Okay.
If you buy a bottle, finish it. Then you can buy another one. There's a lot of stories. I could talk endless. Sometimes I feel like I'm Forrest Gump. I've been everywhere. I've witnessed everything. I think it was my 4th week on the sea.
Yeah.
There was a guy who was killed on a gas station.
Yeah, I remember that.
You remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was on the news on the evening that those guys were missing. Everybody was searching for them, and we were out of sea, of course, started working, and all the news every day and a day and a day. And back in those days, we always needed someone new on deck because it was like, a backpack passengers who came on sea and worked for 10 days and then we went up to north or something.
Okay.
So it wasn't any surprises if you had some new people on board, But on our last day, we realized that those killers, they was, of course, with me in the ship, and we were, talking about those idiots that are killing, and they were just, those fuckers, And when we came to the harbor again, the police was waiting, and it was fuck.
Shit.
So It was always something like that.
Always something happening.
Always something. Yes. But good stories.
Mm-hmm.
Good stories.
Yeah, yeah. When you've left that, you always have that.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep. And then I just finished the painting job, and you know, I was working with the school. You know, we have to work for 4 years,
Mm-hmm.
and in that time we have to be in the school.
Mm-hmm.
You know, learning not to paint, but
Yeah, yeah.
how the paint is made
Yeah,
and everything. And then I, you know, instead of taking some loan, I was working as a pizza guy,
Okay.
and that was fun. That was really fun.
In what pizza place did you work in?
Pizza, it's called the Pizza Huset.
Ah.
You know, and you know, it was always questionable what kind of mushrooms went on the pizza over there, and what type of oregano. It smells like weed or. So yeah, there was a lot of party over there.
Yeah.
And, yeah. You know, a lot of people, good friends today, even, and yeah, it was yeah.
Good times when it was still working. Still fun.
Still fun. Yeah. And you know, you know, we meet so much people,
Mm-hmm.
and in the end you can't judge anyone.
No.
Because you know, I'm in not any position to judge anybody.
No.
Not, you know, that's ridiculous conversations.
Mm-hmm.
You know, judge anyone, but you learn. Maybe like me, took me a while to learn some wise things. Yeah, so I finished this painting. I was doing that for about 20 plus years.
Okay.
And then I went working in a painting factory.
In a painting, yeah. Okay.
And I got this title, you know. You remember these emails around the crisis? Everybody, John Johnson, system manager, boxing manager, management. You know, the email was this long just because of titles.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I got this title. I got, you know, Stefán Snæbjörnsson, sales manager, marketing manager, Air Centra. So I've been there too.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Until I got this accident 2011.
Okay.
That just shocked. Yeah, it shaked up my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What accident was that?
It was a car accident.
Okay.
Yeah. The third day of Christmas, 27th of December.
Okay.
After that, life changed a lot.
Okay. How so?
I got wiser. No, I had this brain damage, nerve damage, a lot of shit.
Okay.
So I had to take another step,
Yeah.
But with positive thoughts, I was not dead.
No.
I was just injured.
Yeah.
So it took me 3 years in all kinds of body rehabs.
Okay.
And finally, I went to the rehab.
The maybe most needed one.
Yeah, because then I start to think more clearly than I ever did before. Yeah, so yeah, it's been quite great life. I got married in 2000, and I got my first kid 2001. no sex before marriage, remember? Like we always do here in Iceland.
Yeah, of course.
We are very Christian people, and so 2001 I had my beautiful girl, and 2008 my boy. I got divorced 2017. You know, it just happened. You know, the marriage, the relationship was just in the middle of it. You know, it was just an earthquake in the family, and sadly it ended that way. But we are very good friends, and our kids are doing well.
Okay.
Which is the most important thing.
Yeah, of course. When you get divorced, you still have kids together, and you have a responsibility of doing that well together still.
Yeah.
And it's very positive when you can do that.
Yeah, that's true.
Necessary.
Because there's one thing I see today that I never did before. That was, you know, when my doctor asked me one time, okay, Stebbi, what is the most important thing in your life? And 3 things, and you have to put it on paper, 1, 2, and 3. And I read. And he looked and he said, it's all wrong. I go, what? I said, my children, right? And of course the job, you know, to feed the family. And then something else. And he said, you are number 2. No, you are number 1. Family number 2. Social are number 3. Then you have some work and shit, but they will never ever, you know, hesitate to kick you in the ass whenever. You know. So I see it today. Number 1 thing is you and your family. Then the rest.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Yeah. We spend so much time in work.
Yep.
Too much time.
Yeah, it's been the Icelandic way.
It's
just work more.
Work more. You know, have some Range Rover, big house, and shit.
Yeah. And I think it's necessary to kind of learn that lesson along the way, that it's just a trap. There's always bigger and better things.
Yeah.
But your life is now. You might miss it.
That's true. and like, you know, like my forefathers in Snæbjörnsson, you know, for example, my grandfather, you know, he woke up 6 o'clock in the morning and he went to feed the cows and, you know, and everything. Then he went on his little boat and he got some fish. And then he went to finish the rest of the sheep and everything.
Yeah.
And then he went upstairs to his room and wrote poets, romantic poets, you know. This is Icelander. This is a typical Icelander, you know. You can, you know, act like asshole on a boat, and you can be kind to the sheep, and then you go and, oh, this beautiful lady with the long brown hair. But
then again, like back there, where you're working in the country, it's different because you're doing that with your family.
Yeah.
It's different when you live in a city and you go somewhere else to work.
Right.
It's a totally different thing.
That's totally different.
Because in that situation in the country, life and work are going together. And that's not what's happening in the cities.
No.
You go away from your family to do the job thing.
Yeah.
And that's just a different thing, different animal.
That's true.
And that's why I think, and why I came to the conclusion one day in my life that I was spending way too much time at work.
Yeah.
And I just had to rethink the thing.
We have to drink this. Sponsor. Crystal.
Maybe they will contact us now.
Now they will.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, you know, because we are very social, Bjarki, you know, we know a lot of people and you know, we you know, we go places. And I even got to a very good place, you know, on one of the biggest event on earth, you know, on a big screen, 350 million people watching, NFL, Super Bowl.
Yeah, you did that. The Viking thing.
The Forrest Gump thing, man.
How did that happen?
It happened when I was in one of the rehabs. I met, you know, a very good friend of mine today. And, she has this model studio. She was a very good and famous model before. She has this company, Eskimo Models, and she said, "Okay, you're fun, man. You yeah, you can do something else." And 3 years later, they were doing some casting for some commercial. I had worked with them for a movie and some small stuff. And there was this, they were looking for some Vikings, and I had this period there. And but I missed the opportunity to go to the cast. I don't know, maybe I slept over or something. But she contacted me and said, "Okay, this director, he chose you." Okay, I don't want to be this blurring shit, you know. Now you're in the front, man. And I thought she was joking.
Okay.
Yeah. And there it's, and it started. Yeah, everything was very convenient. And then I met this director, you know, guy who was 2'10", with long gray hair. At first I thought he was going to play some Viking, and I thank God that I didn't ask him because he would punch me down, you know. And this guy, his name is Joe Pitka, and he has done a lot of shit. They call him King Can, you know. He wins everything in Cannes, you know, for music videos and everything.
Okay.
And yeah, and, you know, there was this truck, Ram trucks, Dodge Ram, and me and two others, we were just singing and doing shit. And 2 years later, you know, that was it. You know, we were just doing this commercial, and then Justin Timberlake came and sang a song, you know.
Did you actually go there at the stadium, or was it played there?
It was, you know, played on the big screens, and of course, you know, the Super Bowl is all about commercials.
Yeah.
And you know, I was, you know, 2 years before I was passed in this Sober Rider thing. Yeah. And they heard that I was going to play in some commercial, and you know, they held party, you know. There is, you know. So yeah, that was very fun. Yeah. Especially, you know, this guy Joe Pitka. It's yeah.
Fun guy.
Everybody hated him. You know, if you Google him, you know, you just the only word they use is asshole. But I really liked him, you know. Maybe because I'm the asshole too. But no, you know, for real, you know, it was really one of my most interesting person I ever met.
Okay.
You know, Indian, native,
Okay.
and from Arizona. So, but yeah, very, yeah. He knows his things.
Okay.
And 1 second, you know, if someone ruin a second for his project, he knock him down. You know, don't ask stupid questions. Don't stay in stupid questions. Just do what she says. And there was this very good story about, you know, we had this walkie-talkie.
Yeah.
And there was this runner, you know, doing, you know, all those kind of shit. Put it there and put it there. And he forgot his walkie-talkie under my seat. And then he said, Mr. Pitka, action. And we were just, oh, damn. It was under my seat. Take this fucking walkie-talkie and shove it up your ass. Yes, sir. After that day, you know, it was a wrap.
Okay.
You know, I you know, was very little. You know, Mr. Pitka. Yes. Can I take it out of my ass now? And from that time, you know, we were very good friends.
Yeah. And you've been doing a little bit of acting as well.
Yes, I've been very lucky.
Okay.
Yeah, lucky. You know, I've been working with very good people. Doesn't matter what their names are, but all of those people, very good people. Especially Icelandic one, very good people. So.
Is that kind of a new passion for you, doing that? Something you enjoy doing?
My father, you know, I grew up in a movie.
Okay.
You know, my father was a film critic for 42 years. He loved movie, but who made the movies hated him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah. So I went to the movie with him, and he was typewriting about the movie and giving, you know, 1 star or 5 star, and today I have papers about 20,000 movies that he has done as critics.
Okay.
So I always wanted to be an actor, but my father, he always said, no, don't be an actor, son. Be a painter, be rich. So yeah, you know, and after the accident, you know, I was not capable of doing hard shit, you know, running and climbing but I could do this.
Yeah.
Act very slow things, you know.
So it's funny because you talk about before and after the accident. So that's probably just a pivoting point in your life when things really change.
Yeah.
And the feelings before that, were you happy in your life before the accident? Were you fulfilled? Was things going the right direction? And
this is a very good question, Bjarki, because this is a question that we never ask ourselves. Because we never sit down and we ask ourselves, are we happy? Where am I going? You know, what is it? What I'm doing? Am I happy with it? We don't give us the time to think about it, because the life goes so fast. We wake up 7 o'clock, we bring the kids, you know, one on the shoulder and one dragging, and throw them back in the car, and I was crying, and your wife says, you forget, and you said, shut the fuck up, you know. And, you know, we are so stressed up. But I think in that situation, I was lucky. I was lucky and the life today, I think I'm more happy today than I was before, because now I'm relaxed.
Mm-hmm. You're enjoying the ride. I
am enjoying my ride, right. And, you know, I had this dream, you know, ride a motorcycle.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I had to have this terrible accident. I had to go to be sober, quit drinking and do shit to get my motorcycle license and afford the motorcycle. For 30 years, I was just talking about it.
That's funny you say that, because when I was 18 years old, I started to learn to ride the motorcycle, to take the license.
Yeah.
And I was clean at the time for about 3 months or so. And I started to take my license. And that was, I can't remember his name, doesn't matter. He's a top guy, that instructor. Njáll is his name.
Oh, he told me.
Yeah. And then I fell off the wagon and I started using again, midway through.
Yeah.
And he was always calling me. And for like 2 years after that, he was like, Bjarki, aren't you going to come and finish? You've already paid for the thing, aren't you go? And I was always super honest with him. And I said, I'm just out of my mind on drugs.
Yeah,
I'm not going on a motorcycle. He's like, okay. All right. But he kept calling me though. Yeah. And I didn't finish that license for 14 years.
Yeah.
Life was just on hold.
Right. Like everything else.
Yeah. I got clean again.
Yeah.
After 2 years, I finally had the money to do it.
Yeah.
And I decided to do it. I called him up and he said, just come on over.
Right.
Take 2 times.
Yeah.
And we're good.
And do you recognize, after that life, how much time we have?
Yeah. Yeah.
We had a lot of time.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't have any time to go for any tattoo. But now I'm all sleeved. You know, I've been sober for 4 years. My mama said, I thank God. You know, I gave her a visit and there's always new tattoos somewhere.
How does he feel about tattoos, your mom?
Oh, this darling, she don't like it. But she don't want to hurt me. No. And she always said, oh, you're so beautiful. Can you please put on your shirt? So, yeah. The life today is, I think, I can't get a better life. Okay. You know, I've been driving around the world, you know, I've been Cambodia, Thailand, Japan, Hawaii, America. You know, this is privilege, you know. The only thing I had to do was quit drinking.
Yeah. That's how
that was the only thing I had to do. And it took me 32 years to realize it.
Yeah.
I have ADHD though.
Yeah. We know that.
Yeah. What's that?
What were you saying? Yeah, it's funny how that works. I try to remember that in my life today. I've been clean for 14 years now or something. And I frequently ask myself that question. Am I happy? Am I happy with where I'm going? Am I happy with what I'm doing? And it took me a while because I got really happy first on. I got really fortunate. It was easy for me. I got my kids. I raised my kids. I had that going. I met my wife, things were going, and then I kind of dropped the ball a little bit. I wanted to get rich, I wanted to have a big company, and I kind of pursued that and forgot about those important questions. And I feel right now I'm in that place where I'm doing everything I want to do. I'm kind of living my dreams. And I think that's the place where it should be heading. And we should stop and think about, where are we going? Are we happy?
Yeah. It's like the Wizard of Oz thing, you know. The cat. Where are you going? I don't know. Why are you going there then? I don't know. Yeah, we should start to learn to relax and be grateful for what we have, and like have a dream, make it come true, like our friend Hilmar. He goes to LA, he goes to this acting thing, and he do it,
It's super important.
Super important.
Invest in yourself.
Right, and when you die, actually, you say, I did that though.
Yeah.
Instead of saying, I never did it.
No, I was busy working for the next car.
Right.
And a bigger apartment.
Yes, the only outcome of that is, I did it.
Definitely.
And I think that is the point I live it today. And that my slogan is just do it. Stop thinking, do it.
Yeah. Definitely. And on that note, I think we're pretty good.
We are
what
pretty good. I'm pretty good. I just cut my hair because you said it was uncut, so I just cut it. I could stay here for about 4 hours.
I know that.
I haven't told you a story about the Cambodia.
Okay, bring it on. The Cambodia story.
In next chapter. In Cambodia. Cambodia seems when you say it out loud, it's some country far away in Asia, and you don't know anything about it. And we have these kids over here wearing this new 66 degrees jackets, $1,000, new trousers, would say $200, boots, $300, phones, $1,000. So our kids are walking in the road maybe $3,000-4,000 every day. You go to Cambodia. The house is made of iron or some bushes, and the kids are walking in school kit, and in the weekend they are dressed, the guys are dressed in suits, black and white, just as the like the school kit or the school uniform. And the ladies, they are in pastel colors dresses with sun
hats. Umbrella.
Sun umbrella.
Yeah.
And everybody is happy.
Okay. I've never been.
And then I went into this killing fields where Pol Pot's were, and he killed millions of people with timber because the bullets were so expensive. So they just beat out of their lives. I think it was about 8 or 9 million people, I think. for a few years. And still, people over there in that country, they are smiling. You know. And we are over here crying because we don't have any new cell phones, new Apple this, or new this, or new that. So talking about happiness, am I happy now or before and after? I always ask, okay, what is happiness? What is happiness?
I think happiness comes within.
Yeah.
If you're in content, if you're happy about what you're doing, if you're fulfilling your dreams, if you don't get lost in the race, and if you're present.
If you're present.
If you're in the moment.
And if you are there, for your kids, for your wife, for your relatives, if you're there, because I think you can't buy it.
Nope.
So that's why Cambodia is one of the best cities, best countries I ever been in my life. If you want to see happiness, go to Cambodia, go to Nepal, go somewhere else. Well, because there's nothing there that they can take for granted. Not even me.
Wow. Yeah. So
and then was the story.
No, shut up, man. No more stories.
Okay. What a long story.
So Steffi, thank you for coming. It's been a blast.
Yeah, nice.
And a nice talk.
Nice to meet you, Bjarki.
All right.
Ta-ta.
Ta-ta.